Now, this is with respect to the Pradyumn murder case. One of the judges hearing the case, Justice Khanwilkar, has recused himself from the hearing. A fresh bench is now to be constituted to hear Pradyumn's father's plea, which was seeking the formation of guidelines on the issue of safety and security of school children across the country. What could be the reasons for this? A senior judge such as Justice Khanwilkar there has recused himself from the hearing. It is going to be more time wasted now, more time used up, so to say, in setting up a fresh bench, which is now to be constituted to hear the plea being raised by Pradyumn's father, which was along the lines of the formation of stringent guidelines, far more stringent that already exist here on safety and security of school children. We have with us our correspondent Meenakshi Banja with those updates. Meenakshi, what more can you get us? Any reason why you have Justice Khanwilkar having recused himself?
Well, Seher, traditionally, whenever a senior Supreme Court justice decides to recuse himself or herself from a matter, usually, traditionally, reasons aren't cited. And just a short while back, Honorable Justice Khanwilkar has decided that he does not wish to be a part of this bench, which will eventually go on to decide, like you rightly pointed out, security and safety guidelines to be implemented across schools pan-India. But again, because he has chosen to recuse himself, therefore, like again you rightly pointed out, a fresh bench will be constituted in a short while. We do not have a time frame to when that fresh bench will be constituted, but we are being given to understand that it will be set up soon. And subsequent to that, Pradyumn's father's plea, which he had filed on an earlier occasion, viewers will recall, which was seeking guidelines to be implemented across schools pan-India, will be taken up. Of course, guidelines do exist, but he is seeking for more stringent guidelines to be formulated, one, and second, for these guidelines to be implemented in schools across India. But for now, the news from the Supreme Court, Honorable Justice...
See, the reason why we would seek a reason here, would it be any amount of pressure, or why perhaps, given that this is a very, very grave matter, something that would need immediate attention, immediate working along on those existing guidelines, that's perhaps why we're looking at the reason for him having recused himself, which of course, as you stated, Meenakshi, will not be known.
Well, Seher, this is a matter of tradition in Supreme Court. When any honorable justice decides to recuse himself or herself from a matter, traditionally he or she is not bound to give reasons for doing so. The fact that they're choosing to not be a part of matter in itself is a reason one has to just accept as is. And just a short while back, Justice Khanwilkar, it's his wish, it's his prerogative alone to either be a part of the bench or not be a part of the bench, and he has chosen to recuse himself, and that is about all that the reason one will learn of, because he has chosen to not make his reason known as we speak, and we will have to wait now, Seher, for a short while more for this new bench to now be constituted, which will then go on to hear the merits of this plea.